Windsurf Foiling with the Axis ART 1099. So we had a race here at Newcastle and we're all wrapping up right now. So it's kind of fun to get out on Wednesday nights and get some racing in. I have a 8.6 NX with a 460 base and a 490 tip. And I have the windsurfing fuselage and the 400 progressive rear wing. This is a 2011, I think, maybe 2000, yeah, I think 2011 Starboard Isonic 131 liter. It's a 232 or 223 long and 85 centimeters wide. This setup rocks for wind foiling and super light wind. It just got up in such light wind. Usually when I have the Starboard Millennium 1000, to get up in the lightest of winds, my 9.4 Iris, Phantom Iris did really good, but I got up in a little lighter wind with my 11.6 wind wing and my 11.7 Aerotech sail. And that was great to get up in light wind, but the moment it got above 8 miles an hour, it was just a pain, really heavy sail. The cool thing about this 8.6 NX, it's a pretty light sail. All the battens are carbon. I'm able to remove this bottom camber cup to get better rotation. And of course, with the softer base 460 and stiffer tip, I can get really good rotation. This rotates great and a pretty tight leech. So lots and lots of power and not too heavy for how much power it has. So let's see, what else can I say? The only negative thing about this is this mast is 90 degrees. It's a clean angle from the board to the mast. And if it's light, it's super light wind, it's all good. But once I get to about a board speed of 17 miles an hour or more, and I touch down, I'm getting splash. And this is light touchdown. This is not crash. It's just like, okay, I'm kind of wavering and I come down. Let's say, pretend this is water touchdown. I'm getting splashes right on my fingertips. And it just suctions down and I almost get thrown off, but I hold on and then eventually I'm able to let it rise and go back up. So I got a max speed of 22.5 miles per hour, which is awesome. This setup feels quite slippery, even with the 19 millimeter aluminum mast. The 82 centimeter mast was fine for flat water conditions, and I'm mainly going to use this setup for light wind. But with my Millennium 1000, my max speed I've ever gotten is around 27.7. So now I've never gotten 28 miles an hour with the Millennium 1000. That is a faster, more efficient setup. But this is really slippery. It has phenomenal upwind, to my surprise, and just ridiculous downwind. It just goes down the wind like crazy. When I had my Iris 8.2 and my Phantom Iris 9.4, they were better upwind and downwind compared to this NX. But this NX is just a lighter sail. And with me trying to get up in as light as wind, it really does help having a 100% carbon mast, a carbon boom, and a not too heavy of a sail. So upwind, downwind is great. I can even do zigzags when it's ridiculously light wind, like less than 10 miles an hour, and I'm doing zigzags. Just a super fun setup. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to build a shim for the rear. So right now I may do it out of carbon. I want it to go over the back because I don't want the sharp edge to angle in. So I'll go a little bit around maybe, and then I'll figure out how many layers. So maybe I'll do a 1, 2, and 3 degree, so I can add them all up to 6 degree, and that will just rake this back. And what that will make it do is, as I'm coming down, the board, let's pretend this is the water, the board will come like this and skip back up, rather than come like this and just suction down. And I have to get slow on a speed, it's just gridlock that I have to slow it down and get back up. So this is a big deal for angle. I could get more angle in the rear wing, but it feels really good. My foot placement is good. The mast track is, let's see, for this sail I have it a little bit further back because it's, here, I'll pick this up. So here's the mast track. This is all the way back. I can't go further past this. It's almost all the way back. But that worked out well. I didn't have any issues with the balance. Front foot was in the foot strap. These are how I have this set up for my preferred slalom setup. And I really like slalom windsurfing on flat wind days, especially if it's gusty. Most of the time with foiling, gusty air is a little bit not as much fun, but with slalom, personally, I like it because the gusts are really good for acceleration. So this is my foot strap for slalom. It's cool, at least it's cool for me if I don't have to switch it around every time. So I can just change the foil or fin and switch the wind water sport I do. And of course, since this load up is really small, I have another mast and a 6-meter retro, which is good for other wind foiling sessions I've had in the past. I hope that will be good for this. But I'm really feeling for ultralight wind, oh, now the wind's picking up a little bit here. For ultralight wind, I'm really feeling doing windsurf foiling. It just is so much fun, and it's comfortable. And then once it's around minimum 10 miles an hour, but it's probably going to be a little bit more, that's when I want to go to wing foiling, especially at my current skill level. And mainly because of budget, because all the gear, a slightly bigger hand wing, slightly bigger board, slightly bigger front wing foil, like the Axis PNG Pumping Glide 1300. That even may be with my 6.2 Mojo, my 6.2 Fly Surfer Mojo. That might be enough to get me up in light wind. But this setup was so amazing, and the upwind angle was ridiculous. This is not a race foil, but it got upwind angles like a race foil. And this is a pretty slippery sail. It doesn't have a huge left sleeve, and there are sails that are more expensive, that have larger left Cs, more carbon fiber. Even this has a lot of carbon fiber in the battens. That may be better for upwind, downwind, but the performance for today's races were great. I got 2 first, and it was off and on. The longboards between us and longboards were back and back. Like right now it's windier than it was, and you know, so it's kind of in between as far as the speed. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you have any questions or comments, if you have any ideas on how to make it so when I do a light touchdown at over 17 miles an hour, I'm not touching here. I really believe angling the mast back is the way to go. But I'm totally going to do this. If it's a sunny day and I just want to get on the water and like, it's 9 miles an hour, this setup is awesome. I do not know what the wind speed is to get flying. My guess is somewhere between 5 to 7 miles an hour with max effort pump that I can flying, and I can get flying in less than that. But I do feel confident that with my 1 meter wide board, 100 centimeters wide board, my 11.7 and my starboard Millennium 1000, this setup right here gets up in less wind, and it's so much more fun. It's so maneuverable. It's great upwind, downwind. I can even pump the boil. I'm not a foot pump foiling champ yet. I need a lot of work, but I was able to, on the downwind leg, this is the finish line right here, I was able to pump the sail and pump a little bit. I was getting tired, but I was able to kind of extend it out before I got a flight, and it felt very effective. So yeah, the Axis ART 1099, it's awesome, gets to flight easily, it's pretty quick. And the main thing is I didn't want to, it just wasn't a very windy day today, but I believe even with this current setup, I might be able to go a little faster than that speed just because I was on edge on catapulting because the touchdowns weren't good. So kind of saying the same thing over and over again, but it's a fun day. Yeah, like, subscribe, and share if you like this content. Also, let me know if you want me to make a video on making a carbon shim. I want to make 3, 1, 2, and 3 degrees. I go either way, and that will help that problem as far as touching, I think. But yeah, thanks for the watch, and have a good one. Cool, bye.